Welcome to the Explainer. So, if you've been working in the Azure Data Factory trenches for a bit, you are definitely hearing a lot of buzz lately about Data Factory in Microsoft Fabric. And you're probably asking yourself, wait, is this a total replacement? Is it just a software upgrade? Or is it a completely different beast that just happens to be wearing a familiar name tag? Well, here is a surprising fact to kick things off. It's actually none of those. Today, we are going to demystify exactly what this leap from Azure Data Factory to Fabric Data Factory really looks like. I'm super excited to guide you through this because honestly, what Microsoft has pulled off here is pretty genius. Okay, let's dive into this. 90%. That's right, 90% of your go-to Azure Data Factory activities, they're already sitting right there inside Microsoft Fabric. Copy, script, stored procedure, web, for each, the whole gang is there. So this is our big secret for today. Fabric isn't making you start from scratch. No way. Instead, it's literally taking that incredibly powerful ADF engine you already know and trust and dropping it into a completely modernized chassis. To really wrap our heads around this, here's our quick roadmap for the explainer. We'll start with the data integration problem, explore the big PaaS to SaaS shift, peek under the hood at what stays and changes, map out your migration strategy, and finally get you ready for the future. All right, let's hit section 1, the data integration problem. And specifically, we're talking about the very real headaches of platform as a service, or PaaS management. Look, if you're an active data engineer using ADF today, you know these pain points all too well. It's kind of like wrestling with messy, manual electrical wiring, right? You're constantly having to babysit and troubleshoot integration runtimes every time they hiccup. Then there's that infamous publishing friction. You know the drill. You spend hours building this gorgeous, complex pipeline, totally forget to hit publish, and then just stare blankly at your screen, wondering why nothing actually changed in production. Plus, you're constantly jumping back and forth between portals because your workspaces and your storage accounts are completely isolated from your data integration tools. It is powerful for sure, but man, is it disjointed. Which brings us to section 2, the PaaS to SaaS shift. Enter Microsoft Fabric's fully unified solution. I absolutely love this analogy because it brilliantly illustrates what's going on. Think of classic Azure Data Factory as a standalone V8 engine. It is incredibly powerful, it's a total workhorse, but it's just sitting there on a workbench. You have to build the entire car around it, wire the dashboard, hook up the fuel lines yourself. Microsoft Fabric, on the other hand, that is the fully assembled smart car. The engine is exactly the same. That's Data Factory. But now it's seamlessly built into this sleek software-as-a-service vehicle, sitting right next to your lakehouses, warehouses, notebooks, and Power BI reports. Let's put these two experiences side by side. The traditional ADF PaaS model, that's your manual wiring. You are managing the infrastructure, you're dealing with portal jumping, you're handling the complex publishing. But the Fabric SaaS model, it's like wireless charging. It is completely frictionless. Fabric handles the cloud compute entirely behind the scenes, and that annoying publishing step, gone. Fabric uses a simple save and run, so your work executes immediately. And the whole shebang lives natively in a single unified workspace. So what does this new engine actually look like when you start using it? Let's check out section 3, what stays and changes, as we finally take a look under the hood of our smart car. Let's get objective here and map out reality. First, what actually stays? Well, the core pipeline authoring experience and your expression language are nearly identical, so your existing skills absolutely transfer right over. Now what's better? Fabric brings in Dataflow Gen 2, which replaces those finicky mapping data flows of ADF with a really intuitive Power Query experience. You also get Copilot AI, literally building data integrations using natural language, and native integration with OneLake, meaning all your data is finally treated as a single, accessible source. But we have to talk about what's missing. If your organization relies heavily on legacy SQL Server Integration Services, or SSIS, or you need strict managed virtual networks, you should know there aren't direct equivalents for those in Fabric just yet. Now, what's really fascinating here is how Fabric radically simplifies your daily workflow. Remember in ADF how you had to constantly define datasets? Think of those as rigid, clunky filing cabinets sitting between your pipeline and your actual data. It was an annoying extra layer of indirection that frankly confused a lot of people. Well, Fabric completely eliminates datasets. Instead, it uses dynamic smart folders. You just define your data properties directly in line within your activities using simple connections. It means far fewer objects cluttering up your workspace. There is also a major shift in how you access your on-premises data. Traditionally in ADF, you used a self-hosted integration runtime, the SHR.
It auto-updated, which was nice, but it was heavily limited to specific Azure services. Now, in Fabric, you're stepping up to the On-Premises Data Gateway, or OPDG. The huge one here is that OPDG is shared across your entire tenant, Power BI, Power Apps, all your Fabric workloads. Plus, it supports recovery keys and up to 10 nodes for high availability. Just a quick heads up here, though. OPDG does not auto-update like the SHR did, so you'll definitely need to remember to manage those updates manually to dodge any compatibility issues down the line.
All right, moving on to Section 4, your migration strategy. If you're seriously considering trading in your old setup, when and how should you actually make this move? Microsoft actually thought this through and gave us a highly intentional, safe, incremental path. Step 1 is assess. There's a built-in migration assessment directly in ADF that flags your pipelines as ready, needs review, or not compatible. Step 2 is absolutely brilliant. It's called mount. You can actually mount your existing ADF instance right into your Fabric workspace. This lets you reference those ADF pipelines within Fabric without officially migrating them or burning through Fabric capacity. You can run them side by side to validate your results first. Finally, step 3 is migrate. Once you're confident, you officially move those validated pipelines over to the new engine.
So the crucial point here is matching your action to your reality. For instance, starting a brand new project? Go build it straight in Fabric Data Factory. It's cleaner and it is the future. Do you rely heavily on SSIS or managed VNets? You need to wait. Those feature gaps are real right now, and forcing workarounds might just add complexity that completely negates the benefits. Are you already moving your organization to a Lakehouse or Power BI architecture? Perfect. Absolutely bring your pipelines along into Fabric to cut down your operational overhead. But hey, if your existing ADF setup works flawlessly and you don't need the new shiny features, there is zero urgency. Microsoft is continuing to support ADF, so you don't have to feel rushed. Finally, let's wrap things up in Section 5, ready for the future. Because at the end of the day, this transition is the next generation of data integration. Moving from Azure Data Factory to Fabric isn't just about a software patch or changing interfaces. It's about unifying your entire data estate to genuinely prepare for the AI era. You're stripping away the infrastructure management, removing the daily friction, and bringing everything into one incredibly powerful SaaS environment. Which leaves us with this final question to think about. Are you ready to trade your manual engine for a fully autonomous data vehicle? I highly encourage you to go open up a Fabric workspace, mount your current pipelines, and just experience a difference for yourself. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep building, and I will see you next time.